hungry.
Hey everyone, it's me, Lisa Lillian, also known as Hungry Girl, here with this week's episode of Chew the Right Thing with Mikey and Jamie. And for the first time ever, we are coming at you not from Hungryland, which is a little sad. But how are you guys?
We're sad. We miss you.
We do. It's so weird. We're in our house and you're in your house. It doesn't make sense.
It is weird. I'm looking at you now, at least via computer screen, which
Yes.
is the way we've all been socializing these days, which it's actually not so bad. I'm getting used to this social distancing and socializing via computer. I kind of like it.
I know. I feel like I'm connecting with people even more. Like I'm calling people more than I used to. I just kind of need it.
Yeah.
I know. And I've been watching, I watch Kelly and Ryan every morning, and the past couple days, they've been doing their show from their computer, like literally side by side computer screen. And at first I was like, is this going to be weird? And then I was like, I think people appreciate sort of the up to the minute feel. And that's kind of how we chose to continue doing these podcasts same way, because we thought, it would be better to connect with people. And who cares if technology isn't perfect, right?
Yeah. It's weird that our local news here, I'm sure it's in other parts of the country too, but in the newsroom, the two anchors are there, but the weathercaster and the traffic reporter, they're in their house doing their reports from their house. It's so interesting how they've been able to do that.
I know. And in a lot of cases, people are saying, they're actually admitting, I'm self-quarantining because I was exposed to someone and I'm just playing it safe and I'm broadcasting from my basement. This is an interesting time. And this whole episode, we're going to probably touch on a lot of subjects, but I really thought it would be a good idea if we could just address how everybody is struggling with emotional eating, being stuck at home. I think that seems to be a really common thread. Even people that I know that don't have problems or issues with emotional eating are really feeling it. Or people who never thought about eating and eating the wrong things are saying that they're struggling and eating the wrong things. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it's been the number one thing we're hearing in the community is people struggling with, emotional eating takes a lot of different forms, whether it's stress eating or boredom eating or just feeling the uncertainty and wanting to eat. But yeah, I've definitely been hearing from people that don't normally consider themselves emotional eaters that are just turning to food. They're home all the time. The food's right there.
Well, and also I think it's more than psychological. I think it's physiological, because I was doing some research, because I myself have been craving things that I don't normally eat. And the thought of eating things that I eat a lot of, like the thought of eating vegetables now and eating a lot of salads, doesn't feel comforting to me. And the thought of eating a piece of toast, it feels like a big hug. And there is something that is real about that. And the research shows that comfort foods are, in fact, comforting. So I don't think our message right now can be to think about avoiding all those things that might make you feel comfortable, and more about how you can safely and in a healthy way incorporate some of those things into your life, and then also move more and burn calories and get more exercise. Jamie, I know you and I were discussing the other day how we've just been taking phone calls and walking during the phone calls.
Yes. My Aunt Randy gave me that idea that anytime the phone rings to just pick up the call and go right outside and take a walk.
When we were even testing this podcast to see if we can do this over the phone, she actually walked around the block to test this call here. So yeah, she's doing that. I think the dogs too are wondering what's going on. Why are we getting walked so much? Because we've walked Penny like twice a day now. It used to just be once a day, and I'm sure other dogs are getting walked all the time now.
I mean, I think in general, dogs are probably just excited that the whole family's home. The kids are home. Everyone's home. They think it's like every day is Christmas now,
Yeah.
I bet. And I guess that's a good thing. I mean, like, if you think about it, I think throughout all of this, something good, there has to be a silver lining. And I think this entire reset will have people appreciating their families more, appreciating their freedoms more, appreciating even just like a trip to Starbucks, which feels like such a luxury and feels like it may never happen again. I think once we do get back to normal, we'll appreciate everything just a little bit more.
I totally agree. And I think people are starting to, now that the new normal is setting in, look for opportunities. We have some extra time, especially people that used to commute or people that aren't working at all. it's like we're sort of forced to look at different ways to practice self-care. I never walk outside, and now it's like I kind of have to push myself to do that.
Yeah, and and you say self-care. It's like I'm now exploring all of these beauty products that were just sitting sort of on my counter, and all these things like face masks. And I've just been doing a lot more. I'm a little worried about what my nails are going to look like in a few weeks, but I guess that should be my biggest problem, right? But stress eating is something that we should really dive into because, Mike, are you eating more peanut butter? I must know.
I think so. I think I'm putting more peanut butter in my morning peanut butter and jelly shake that I make. But I'm eating more sweets. Like, I'm not going to lie, before we left Hungryland for hopefully not ever, I did grab a couple of bags of like chocolatey things that I know nobody else will eat. So I'm definitely eating more sweets.
You stole the chocolate, basically.
Those chocolate covered chickpeas, the dark chocolate ones, I'm the only one who likes them, so I figure I'll take a bag.
Everybody likes those. Those are delicious,
No,
actually.
not the dark chocolate one,
take
though.
whatever you want. Listen, it's a safe thing. If you want to get into your car and sneak back into Hungryland, which is empty and it's a safe haven, you can go get all the chocolate and eat it. And for me, it's not sweets. And I was doing a little research yesterday also that I basically found out that women really love sweet things and chocolate, and it's high on their list of comfort foods. And for men, it's more the savory, like things like casseroles and meatloaf and mac and cheese. I must be part male because that's what I crave. Like, I crave the savory and not the sweet.
You and I are flip-flop then, because I'm craving the sweet, you're craving the savory. So there goes that theory.
And I crave it all.
I guess there are exceptions,
Yeah.
but again, like for me, the thing, and I think I sound like a broken record, but like the thing that has been saving me is I have not strayed from my eating window. And when I stop eating, I stop eating. And it makes me feel really great mentally to do that. And, it keeps me like feeling, I feel hungry part of the time. Like I haven't eaten yet today, and it's almost, what is it? It's 10:04, but I stopped eating yesterday at about 5 p.m.
Wow.
So it's definitely time for me to eat, but I feel better about making that choice to eat a couple of slices of toast when I know I'm not going to be eating at a certain time and I'm keeping my calories in check. And I am moving more. I've been getting over 20,000 steps a day. I'm proud to report.
Wow.
I was just going to say my Fitbit broke, and like I had one delivered instantly because I was like, I must calculate my steps.
The same way that you have intermittent fasting as sort of like a boundary that you set that just gives you something to keep you from going off the deep end. For me, I'm not eating sugar right now, and sort of having that one thing like, okay, maybe my portions are getting a little bit bigger. Maybe I'm eating some things I wouldn't normally, but having kind of one boundary to just keep it in check. I think one of the things too that you and I talked about is I see so much on social media with people saying, it's okay to overeat these days. It's okay to eat all day long. It's okay to eat. And I think there's kind of like got to be a middle ground between being gentle with ourselves. This is an intense time, and we are, likely to look to food for comfort, but also not enabling ourselves and really thinking about the fact that this isn't ending anytime soon. So do we want to overeat for 2 months straight? Or, I feel like there's a difference between being gentle and accepting some comfort food, but also not using this as an excuse or, it's just, I don't want to be unhealthy for 2 months.
I know. And like people have been saying to me that they can't control it at all. And like, even if setting a boundary, like stopping at a certain time and starting at a certain time is too strict for some people, maybe they can do the like 1 or 2 days a week that they allow themselves to have certain things, and the other days they're more sticking to their plan. Because I think the biggest problem people have is that snowball effect. Like one day turns into 2 days, 2 days turns into 3 days, which turns into a week and a month, and then people give up. So what we're trying to do is be there for people every day. I've been going live on Facebook every night. I want to be not only a friend and someone who can maybe add a little bit of levity and humor into the situation, but a reminder like, hey, I'm here. And maybe when they see me, they're thinking about making healthier food choices. I don't know. You think is that wishful thinking?
No, I think so. It's like we we're kind of in our own little worlds, and it's easy to kind of, I mean, we're literally being told to isolate. So, so much of isolation is like, no one's looking at what I'm eating. What can I get away with? Eating a little more, and kind of staying connected to things that remind us about being healthy, things that remind us about self-care. Like, I love the normalcy of still, reading my daily emails and seeing, consuming content that's what I was doing before. We can't, I don't want to get lost in this hole of just being home all the time and not continue to do the things that make me feel good.
Yeah, I know. And I've been sort of like expanding, listening to more podcasts, finding new content providers that I hadn't thought about. I have not started binge watching anything yet. I'm still into my crime shows. I'm watching those religiously. American Idol, I'm happy to report, is still going to be going on for at least another couple of weeks because we have to go from the top 40 to the top 20 to the top 10. And then we're going to be in trouble mid-April. Mid-April is when we get in trouble. But for now, American Idol has been keeping me happy. And I've also been really super duper organizing everything. Like, I think one thing that one day I remember I was hungry and I was like, I want to go eat something and I want to do something. And I was afraid I was going to make a bad choice. And what I did was empty out an entire drawer in my kitchen and just threw out half of the stuff that I just didn't need. It was great. Everybody's got that kitchen drawer that has like everything from paper clips to pens to like, I don't know. I don't even want to say keychains and maybe some snack wrappers.
Yeah, we have 2 of those drawers. I guess it's a Mike and Jamie drawer. But yeah.
Organize it today.
Maybe. We'll say that for the weekend. Wait, let's go back to Idol real quick. What was wrong with everybody yesterday? They were terrible. Like 90% of the singers were not good.
I think, well, here's the thing. I think you're falling for the producers who produced that little montage of terribleness. So when you have like 100 people, there's going to be at least 8 or 10 that lose it just act and they just strung those together, in my opinion. But how about that? What's her name? I can't remember her name. The one that had a seizure.
Oh, that was scary.
Madison, maybe, or I can't even remember. She's amazing.
Yeah, she was really good.
There are so many good people this year.
I know. We haven't watched the last 15 minutes. I got tired last night. So we still have 15 minutes to watch of last night's episode.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to look forward to.
There you go.
I have to say. It's funny. And I keep seeing all these segments on TV where people are saying, here are things that you can make with things that are in your pantry. And like a lot of the times, those things are not really in your pantry and they're still so complicated. So maybe we can take some time to talk about like literally things that have 2 ingredients. Like the stuff that I have yesterday, I swear I felt like Susie Homemaker because I had picked up steaks and chicken breasts and salmon, and I just started cooking everything. And just to have that lean protein in the house is such a great thing. And even just to pair it with a bag of frozen veggies, or if you have a bagged salad or anything, like to me, I have my freezer stocked with riced cauliflower and all the Green Giant spiralized veggies. And I do have some fresh salad options. So even 2 ingredients, to me, that's simple. When I see people like, taking onions and peppers and jalapenos and canned beans, and I'm not saying a lot of people don't have that, but I think that might feel overwhelming to some people at this point,
Yeah. The things that I've been relying on, so we have our freezer filled with, like you said, lean protein, so shrimp, chicken, and then big bags of frozen veggies. And then I'm looking to like different sauces so I can change it up all the time. So like Frank's Red Hot, which you talked about yesterday, make everything taste like hot wings. There's a lot of different marinades, and you can order them online too. Mrs. Dash has some great ones and seasonings too. Like I feel like those are all fun ways to just keep it simple, but also change it up so you don't get bored.
I know. I've been really rediscovering a lot of the spices and rubs and things that I have in my pantry. And I have been ordering a lot of things online. Of course, then I'm like, wait, how much do I disinfect the box when I open it? Yeah. And I mean, Mike, you're a germaphobe anyway. What tips do you have?
Well, we had an emergency yesterday because we got a bag of an Amazon package of True Lemon came out with like infused flavors, so there's no calories, whatever. And she opened it up with her teeth, the package.
And I wasn't thinking.
And then she, looked at the box of each individual one before she washed her hands or disinfected it. So what I do, and I do this with everything, is the package that we get. I open it up, then I wash my hands, then I take out what was in the box, disinfect it with the Lysol wipes, and then I wash my hands, and then we can do it. Oh, and you have to wipe down the counter that the box that it came in was sitting on, because who knows what liquid could be on that box that got onto the counter.
And by
Oh,
the time
boy.
he's done, I'm not even hungry anymore. So we do this with takeout, and then this is the best appetite suppressant ever. I'm like, this is, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it takes 20 minutes before we're actually eating. Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned takeout, and I've been going back and forth on like, wow, is it safe to eat takeout? What am I going to do? But I have to say, like, more than anything, I want to support local
Yeah.
businesses. So I am doing my best to, if there's, a place that's open that is preparing, like I went to Kazu the other night to do takeout.
You
And,
did?
and he was so appreciative
Aw.
because he texted me and we've been going back and forth. He's my favorite sushi chef, and you guys love it there too.
Yes.
And he's still preparing food. And also, Jamie, you were talking about a local business that you support, and they were offering gift cards at reduced rates. Anything you can do that might help some of your favorite places stay open, because I am very worried that when this is all is said and done, that they're just not going to be able to survive.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the hardest. It's like, I know we all want to stay safe, but we also don't want all of our lives to change so drastically that all the places that we're used to going just don't exist anymore.
Yeah, my favorite coffee place. They just sent an email today saying, and they just started like 6-7 months ago, and the coffee's so good that in order for us to stay in business, we need you guys to order. So I ordered more coffee today from them, because I don't want them to go out of business. Today's also, it's Tuesday here, it's Wednesday when you're listening to this, but so last night was the Great American Takeout, which they were asking people to order takeout. So, but that doesn't have to be just last night. We can order takeout if we're normally going to go out on a Saturday night. Order takeout, bring it in. Like we should just keep doing that.
If you're hesitant at all about doing takeout, another thing you can do is buy gift cards. Support your local businesses. That way, a lot of them are offering gift cards because they need the money now, and things are going to go back to normal. You can go out to eat in 2 months, so maybe pick up a gift card.
I know, and it's interesting because there are people that are turning to comfort food and fast food because fast food is inexpensive. So it might make sense for us to give some tips on what people can get if they are turning to fast food, because I have noticed that if I take a drive, there are lines. Usually there are lines out the door for In-N-Out Burger, like lines and lines and lines. But now Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, I've seen lines everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think it would be helpful if we help people make some, smarter choices at those places. I don't know if
Definitely.
they'll listen.
Well,
but-
so what are your go-tos if you're doing fast food?
I mean, if I'm doing fast food, I always order a salad. I tend to order the grilled chicken. I love a lot of protein, so I'll get a grilled chicken sandwich and the chicken salad, and then I just put the extra chicken breast on the salad.
Ooh.
It's good. It's, maybe, I don't know if people want to buy 2 entrees, but if you can, and maybe if you have a coupon and things are not too overpriced, do that because it'll give you more protein. And you know what? You don't need to order the shake and the fries. So take the money you were going to use for the shake and the fries and order the grilled chicken sandwich on top of that.
Well, speaking of shake, though, real quick, a lot of them, like I know Wendy's is offering a free, whatever their shake is called, if you get takeout. So
Frosty.
Not helpful, Mike.
No, what I'm saying is, so don't fall for the free shake.
Okay.
Or just get the junior size,
Yeah.
because the junior size Frosty, I do like a Frosty. They're really delicious.
Yeah, they are.
But you can make them at home.
Yeah, with all you need is really chocolate protein powder, which you can order.
Yes. Anyway, I've
Maybe
been
a little
ordering
almond milk.
so much. I have to say, we should put together, and I think we should and will put together more things that you can order online. But why don't we ask the audience what they would like to hear from us? Because we want to continue doing these podcasts. We want to continue bringing you helpful information. I think just having this conversation and letting people know we're all in this together is helpful. But Mike, how can people reach out to you directly and tell you what they'd want to hear?
So they can email us at podcast@hungry-go.com, or they can text me at 805-380-8075. Wow, I remember, I knew that by heart. I don't have my work computer here, and it's stuck on. I put a sticky tape of the phone number, but I didn't need it today. Yay!
Finally.
I know.
It's been almost 2 years. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Can they also
And then
call
Jamie,
and
the
leave a voice
community.
message?
Yeah. You can leave a voice message at that number too, 805-380-8075.
That's actually a good idea. We would love to pepper these more with voice messages and even just words of encouragement and tips, questions that you have. Please leave a voice message. That's a great idea. What's that number again?
805-380-8075.
Good. And the community, I know, Jamie, you're still all over the What's Chewing community on Facebook. And talk a little about that.
It's really the best. So it's the Facebook group. And we'll link to it on our Foodcast page, hungry-girl.com/foodcast. It's just the most supportive, loving community. And now more than ever, I mean, people are just getting really honest about what they're going through. And immediately you see people sharing tips of how they're handling it. It's just been such a nice support.
Yeah. Is somebody crying?
That's
was that
Penny.
Penny,
She
yeah.
wants our attention.
That's so cute.
So, Lisa, like, I feel like getting back to kind of the biggest thing people are talking about is just overeating on the foods that are in their house. Snacking all day long, eating all day long. What would be, and I'd love to share some of mine too, what would be your top tips for someone that says, look, I am overdoing it at home and I don't want to anymore?
I feel like we should, before we gloss over this, we should talk a little more in depth about the people that are truly overeating on all the foods that they actually have at home. And it's funny, I am guilty of this sometimes. If there's food in my house and I'm there, all I do is think about it. I know what's in the fridge, I know what's in the pantry, and I want to eat it. And one thing that really helps me a lot is to stay out of the kitchen. I work a lot in the kitchen. I moved my workspace.
Oh,
I'm
smart.
now working out of the kitchen, because if I am within eye shot, is that a word? Within eye shot
It is now.
of the fridge or the pantry or anything that's out, I'm going to want to eat it. So that's definitely one thing. I'm drinking more water because that's helping me feel fuller, and I'm moving more. I feel like moving more is definitely helpful. And if you're a person who's a rule follower like I am, setting those boundaries about eating is important. For me, it's a timetable, but for someone else like Jamie, I know you're avoiding sugar, and you're remaining true to that because you feel like you don't want to let yourself down, you know?
Well, and I think too, it's like you don't have to be so strict, but maybe pick one or two things, because you're going to feel so good if you can sort of prioritize those things. It's going to make these next few weeks and months be a little bit more manageable if you're just feeling good about the decisions you're making for yourself. And that's honestly something that was a little bit of something clicked for me. This idea that I wanted to make a decision to really just prioritize feeling good and well-being and self-care, and not, because it would be really easy right now to just let it go and just say, oh, I'll get back on track, after this ends. But I just don't want to be in that place. And so every day I get up and I just think about, okay, how can I be good to my body? How can I, make myself feel good? And that's kind of what I'm focusing on, is just making a decision to prioritize it. Not being crazy strict, but still not letting myself go crazy.
Absolutely. It's great. And I'm worried that once this is lifted and we go back to our normal lives, people are going to want to celebrate. They're going to want to go out. They're going to want to go drinking. They're going to want to have parties. All of those things are really not conducive to maintaining and achieving any kind of weight loss goals. So you have to think about that as well.
Well, maybe we'll have one crazy night. Frosties for everyone.
Great American party. I don't know.
Eat off.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm up for that. Okay, well, I think we're gonna wind this down. But we will be back next week, if not before then, in case anyone needs us. But please reach out to us. Send those texts, leave those voicemails, talk to us on the community. Go to the Foodcast page at hungry-girl.com/foodcast. If you don't already subscribe to the daily emails, you should do that, because those email opens are through the roof. People are really enjoying the content we're providing, and it is helpful at this time.
Yeah.
So people should sign up. And everybody stay safe, be wise, sanitize, and what else can I tell you?
Stay
We're here for
home.
you. We love you. Stay home, exactly. Don't go out. What is it? American Express, their new tagline is, don't leave home.
That's good.
Yeah.
Don't leave home.
That's good.
They
I like
usually
that.
don't leave home without it.
That's nice.
Anyway, all right, wrapping things up. Thank you, Mike and Jamie. This has been fun. Can't wait till I could be with you in the studio, or
Can't wait.
AKA my office. But until next time, I'm Lisa Lillian, also known as Hungry Girl. Until next time, do the right thing.